What's good? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one out here, man. So listen, look, we got brother Anton Daniels back in the broadcast room yet again, and yeah, shout out to him. And he's bringing something here that's gonna it's gonna shake the foundation. It's gonna explain a lot. We already know that it's a lot of things going on out here, especially when people decide to get involved sexually and not properly protecting themselves and things like that. Yeah, man, it's sad, but it's true. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to dive off into this, and we're going to put these quarters, nickels, and dimes in on the times.
5 things that I learned while having herpes. One, it is not your fault. I know that sometimes we tend to blame ourselves or just overthink ourselves into thinking that it's our fault for being put in a situation that we're in. It's not your fault. It's a lot of people who have it. It's very common. So don't beat yourself up.
Hold on,
Two,
wait a minute, Let's go back to point number one. Usually I like to watch the whole video, but apparently she got 5 different talking points. So we're going to have to break this up and make sure that we mine this out successfully. And I always like to give content or credit to the content creators before I even talk about this stuff. So if you guys want to go and check out her content, her name is China with a Y. China with a Y. I'll definitely link back in the description of the video to her TikTok profile so y'all can be able to subscribe to her TikTok and stuff like that, whether I agree or disagree. But it's definitely your fault. It's definitely your fault that you have herpes. One of the problems in the United States of America is that we tend to not take ownership and responsibility of the things that we do in the circumstances and the situations that we put ourselves in. If you are a person that is out here being promiscuous, if you are not married before you have sex, and I know y'all like to say, well, that's not normal anymore, whatever. Well, then that means that you got to deal with whatever comes with you. I've always said that no matter what happens, good or bad in my life, it's my fault. It's my responsibility. I have to own it. And I am the reason, or I'm going to take ownership, whether good or bad. So I always, we like to take credit for the good stuff. Oh, it's me, that's all me, whatever. We don't want to take responsibility for the bad stuff. How is it not our fault just because y'all normalizing it? And just because a whole lot of people got it, don't mean that I want it. I'm not.
Yo. Listen, look. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just, and I definitely agree with brother Anton on this one. Listen, look, man. If you out here being promiscuous sexually, this goes both for men and women out here. Okay? And you end up with something, be it the herp derp or the H or the G where you leaking a little bit, listen, look, man. Of course, as a human being, you need to take responsibility because you engaged in that type of activity. Excuse me. In that activity. You decided not to protect yourself. I don't want to hear shit about, the lust and the moment, we're in the moment in time and it was just this magical situation and things happen. Of course things happen, whether we like it or not, even if it was a lust situation. And that's what I call a magical situation. It was a lust situation. And yes, in the moment of lust, sometimes everybody do not think properly if you're out here being promiscuous people. And that's just how it goes. But you have to accept the responsibility that you take on in life, especially when you're out here moving in a certain type of way. And yes, whether we like this or not, sex is dangerous. Sex is dangerous.
So what the French toast is there to think about? You old fish-eyed fool.
Sex is very dangerous. Now we like to overlook that and things like that, but yes, sex is dangerous out here.
Not interested. Nope, not interested at all. And what we see happen in this society. Rule number one is your fault. It's definitely your fault. I want to emphasize that. I want to really press that down into y'all. And I know that y'all like to be a part of the herd and part of the group. Oh, everybody got it, so it's not a big deal. No, it's still a big deal, and everybody don't have it. It's a lot of us out here
Right.
clean with a clean bill of health.
Right. Everybody don't have it. Right. Everybody don't.
My chart is popping. I'm gonna have a my chart party. It's definitely y'all fault. Let's go over and see what these next ones are.
Habit is very common, so don't beat yourself up.
Beat yourself up.
2, what you eat has a huge impact on your outbreaks. So pay attention
Jesus
to
Christ.
your bodily sensations, certain things that you're eating, because your body will let you know when you're about to have an outbreak. 3,
Yo, outbreaks is wild to me. Y'all just be having outbreaks and then y'all got to pick and choose when y'all can have sex and stuff like that. And do y'all warn somebody, hey, I'm about to have an outbreak? I'm bumped up down there. Miss me with that shit. Ain't a person in the world that I want to rock out with that's having an outbreak. Listen, we just not equally yoked. Let's go ahead and keep it moving.
Now, I'm gonna chime in, right after Brother Anton, and I'm gonna say this right quick. This is also part of the stats that have came out about the majority of women only having sex with 20% of the men. Now, you can sit around here and fight those stats all you want to. Those are legitimate stats. We all know this. This has come out. It is what it is, whatever. The majority of the women are only, because women have become overwhelmingly picky nowadays, versus how women used to pick, throughout the history and stuff like that. Women have become overwhelmingly picky because of the delusion and things like that. So they're only having sex with a certain amount of men. And when that happens, yes, diseases get get, what's the word I'm looking for out here, man? Um, they get transmitted through, each partner and stuff like that. When you're having, when a large group of women are only having sex with a small group of men because of their preferences and things like that. He got to be this tall, this and that. It's the preferences that's out here killing these broads. Seriously. It's their delusional preferences, the thug that they like, the over aggressive male, the male that may be the player or anything like that. Listen, look, man, it all adds up, and these are the stats. So yes, it's no wonder that the things like this is floating around. Let's keep going.
rejection is God's redirection. It don't always feel good to be rejected. I can speak on my part that rejection was the hardest part for me, being rejected because of the stigma of it. But I promise that God.
No, rejection is hard for any damn woman. Like, regardless of whether she has something or not. So that's not an excuse. That's not it. No, that's not an excuse. Women don't like rejection regardless of what.
God has a way for you, and that everything's happening for a reason.
Why does it feel like people are running in the victim Olympics?
Because
People are not rejected because of the stigma. People are rejected because not interested in getting herpes. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. It's not a rejection because of the stigma. And I don't think that God has honestly, if you really want to know my opinion, y'all of this that's watching this, and I'm just speaking in general. I'm not speaking to her. I'm just speaking to her talking points. Trying to be nice out here in these streets. I believe that a lot of these diseases come as a result of being disobedient to God's word. And so y'all can't do what you want to do, have sex out of wedlock, sin, sleep around, and be promiscuous. And I know that there are circumstances where people cheat and all of that. That ain't what we talking about. We know that most people are getting it because they out here having sex unprotected and they having sex out of wedlock. You can't step outside of God's will and then say that it's God's redirection. That's not how the word works. The word can't go against itself. And so when you sin, you got to deal with the consequences of it. And that's not of God, that's of the devil. And so, I know we like to put a positive spin on it, but y'all got to stop blaming God for y'all decisions.
I mean, shit, man. As a preacher's kid, and I grew up in the church and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And from what I know and things, and I've done other research. So, I know a lot more things now. But, the thing of this is yes, I do see a lot of the time when everybody try to throw God off in their predicaments and things like that, but you're not actually moving in those sectors and moving in those ways. It's like, why are you trying to implement something that you're not actually abiding by? You're not actually moving in that way. And it's just like, we've we've come to a place in this country to where we want to just be like, God is like fucking Santa Claus, and he just grant wishes at will and shit out here, and that's not how it works.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying that I am, and I never will, because I'm not perfect at all. But at the same time, though, too, if you know that you're going to engage in certain things, then yes, you need to use the proper tools that are at place to make sure that your life can be sustainable without a lot of crazy things going on in it. Let's keep going.
You just have to let things be.
Mm-mm.
4, you will find your people, whether that be relationship-wise, friendship-wise. The right people will come around and you won't have to question their intentions or how they feel about you, because they'll just prioritize you and your well-being. So
What is she talking about?
I don't think that has any relevance. I guess y'all need support groups and stuff like that, just like anybody that's having problems sexually or whatever, or anything that's going on in their life. I don't need to know that you got herpes in order to be able to be cool with you or work with you or have a conversation or whatever. Like, you can keep your own personal life to yourself. The only person that need to know is the person that you eventually are supposed to marry or whatever. Like that. I don't know. And I guess y'all finding a community and stuff like that on TikTok. I rock with it. Do y'all thing. I'm cool with that. I ain't got no problems with that.
the things that you're going through now, just take it on the chin, because it's better people to come. And 5, prioritize your health over sexual desires. The person that you're dealing with should be getting checkups, should be going to the doctor. They should be managing certain things that they're eating, certain products that they're using, because evidently their health affects your health, if you didn't know, down to the type of body wash they use. That needs to be a priority for anybody that you're dealing with, because it affects your outbreaks as well. And it's just important.
I guess my thing is, we not getting back to the core root of it. And the core root of it is that we need to stop being so sexually promiscuous. And if we wasn't so sexually promiscuous, then we wouldn't have to worry about this. And this is
Yo. I mean, I definitely agree with what Brother Anton just said. Like, listen, look, these are some of the, it's a part of the problem in society that we're having, especially over here in the Western world. Like, yes, that we are out here engaging in a lot of things. And like I said before, and I keep screaming it, like, I'm not perfect either. As a man, living free agent lifestyle, listen, look, it just is what it is. But, I also try to my best to protect myself and make sure that, I do right by myself and things like that, and right by others at the same time though too. You know, um, yeah, life is not a game. Life is not a game. I don't care whether you're young, middle age, older. Life is not a game, and it comes with ups and downs. And Jesus, man, yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. Protecting yourself at all times means protecting yourself at all times.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
This is another benefit to living right and being married and all of that stuff. I just ain't gotta worry about it. Every person that y'all run into, you basically rolling a dice and it's a crapshoot. Even if you find that person and they clean at that moment, by the time you sleep with them or by the time you sleep with them again, because for me, either you're married or you're single, and so there is no situation where most women have somebody that they dealing with, whether they married or not, because people can't do things the right way and they refuse to do things the right way. And because most people have somebody that they dealing with, you always gonna find a situation where people are suffering as a result of it. And I don't rock with it. I don't understand why people are willing to risk it in order to see it through and then know that you're gonna catch something. I was talking about in Houston, how, and I don't know where this girl is from. And again, I'll link back to her profile in the description. I was talking about how in Houston, where a nurse was basically saying that it's messed up out here from a venereal disease perspective. And
And yes, that I've definitely heard about that. That nurse out in Houston, man. Listen, look, she's going viral because she's actually putting it out there that Houston has a huge problem with HIV. At this exact moment, right now, in this day and time, um, we are in shit. You know what I'm saying? This month right here that we're in, listen, look, uh, as of July 2nd, right now, I made this video July 2nd. Yes, it's a huge HIV problem happening in Houston right now. It's wild out here. And, fellas, we are at a situation right now to where, a lot of you men out there that are not the part of the quote unquote um 20% of men that are getting sexual pleasure out here at this point right now, you may need to be actually glad that you're not. I mean, it's getting weird out here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
It's getting weird.
You old fish-eyed fool.
Listen, fellas, you may need to be glad that you're not part of the 20% of men that these women are climbing for. Over 6 feet, he got to be 7 this and that, or 6 this and that, with all this money, this and that, or he got to be this dangerous man, and give her that thug passion like Pop used to do and things like that. If you're not a part of that crowd, man, you might want to be glad that you're not. Focus on yourself, do the things that you need to do, live your life, and be careful out here. Seriously.
and if I wasn't married, I'm cool with being celibate for the rest of my life. It ain't no box that I would ever have to get to where I feel like it's important for me to take the risk. It ain't a risk in the world that I'm willing to take. And I just don't trust nobody no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm completely cool and I just do not trust these women. I don't trust nobody. Everybody sleeping with everybody. Everybody giving each other diseases. Y'all going on giving it to each other on this cruise ships, in the cities, overseas. Y'all carrying diseases over there and bringing them back. And so I don't trust nobody. Listen, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I'm actually doing a meetup in Houston later on this month. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description.
Hey, Anton, be safe out there, bro. Which I know you ain't doing nothing. Which, I'm really meaning, brother Anton, just be safe out there is how you move, which I already know he is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, highly intelligent man, shout out to him. But yeah, though, man, listen, look, yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. And it's weird though, being listen, fellas, if you are not part of the 20% of men that are getting this quote unquote action from these ladies out here nowadays, you might want to thank your lucky stars because hey, it's getting weird out here. It's getting dangerous health-wise. And if you care about yourself at all, and this goes for both men and women because it's not all women. It is not all women. I'm telling you, it's not. But it is a certain percentage of women that are moving this way, but it's not all women. And, yeah, we have to say that because it is the truth. Yeah, man, it's getting crazy out here and very dangerous if you want to live life and try to live life prosperly. But it is what it is, though. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure that you ring that bell that you will be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
We'll talk about that some other time.
No, I want to talk about it now. See,
Fred,
another reason
Fred, I said we'll talk about that some other time.
you don't tell me what I can talk about. You don't tell me what I can talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose, and I'll point my foot somewhere else.